Greetings and salutations. I am the Raven, and oh, look at this. I am not actually the host this time. I am not be the DM Master, so.
Hello, everyone. I'm Surat, and I am the Game Master this time. Or Dungeon Master, if you prefer. Same title.
Cat herder.
Cat herder, literally.
Meow.
There's one now. Get the lasso! Okay. Anyway. It's been a couple of weeks since we last left off, and everyone was kind of doing their own thing, and a few people were milling about. So let's find out what people have been up to in these last 2 weeks, and let them introduce themselves at the same time. Where get over here. Okay. First, we have J.K. Lantern, who is playing, well, he will tell you. And what have you been up to these last couple of weeks?
I'm J.K. Lantern, and I'm playing Okasan. Okasan has been helping out at the local orphanage, because that is where he grew up, and he feels very strongly about helping the children. In the meantime, El Pudin Diablo has been doing some prize fights. Buenos dias, everyone.
And next up on the list is StarprincessHLC.
Hello, I am playing Yuki, and I hope all of you have recovered from the last session.
How dare an attack of the fields.
But yeah, Yuki's just been kind of slipping in and out to try and visit her father's grave, and then just generally just causing mayhem, collecting more goodies to use for her little village for her dragon statue. Mostly out of those mysterious posters that keep showing up around the guild.
I'm sure Tedlin would have words with you if he were here, but he is not. So we move on to Ladymage.
Ladymage, and howdy ho, I play Magpie, Gloomstalker Fey Hunter. And aside from cleaning up the library a little bit and recording the Adventures of Bastard Smalls and getting this fancy new bag, thank you, Dr. Human and Librarian, and talking to Tiny a little bit, he's really swell. Not much, just training and studying and, you know, what a face hunter's supposed to do in between adventures.
Okay.
He's probably discovered
And
there's a whole
then-
section of Fae in the library. It all starts with, do not mess with.
I wrote that down myself.
And then we have Dork Princess.
Hey, I am playing Aramnes Low, and he's just they've just sort of been vibing, you know, over the past couple of weeks, just adjusting to their surroundings because they never really got a chance to being swept away on missions when people do so, and researching how to like help people and stuff like that. You know, just basic things.
And then last but not least, our usual DM has decided to jump in and has a character all ready for this. What have you been up to, Raven?
Well, as Magpie has already been put out, Tiny has been hanging out in Little Wolf, her helping her get into accommodated to the guild, to his different peoples, introducing to the different staff. He's also been out on at least one mission with Snorri and Anthill, some minor thing about a minor pirate raid on some treasure carrying airship, and he's pretty much just returned from that. And when he's not on jobs, he's usually telling tales to improve the morale of the other heroes for hire.
I like Tiny.
For anyone who's listening to his tales, they also notice one thing. Unlike when Antil is telling his tales, Antil always makes himself the centre of attention. Tiny goes out of his way to make sure it's the opposite. He's always
Aw.
the part of. He's told his tale of when the Howdy Moor came to attack his village. He helped put together the resistance. He stood his guard with his fellow villagers. It doesn't matter that basically managed to pull out a magic sword from the stone in the middle of town that actually goes ting. He don't think much about it. Everyone else is making a fuss about it. But it's just life as usual for him.
Okay. So with all of our characters caught up, you guys are going about your business. And suddenly, over the loudspeaker, when a representative from Reconnaissance Group 6 Alpha 5 please report to reception. Preferably Magpie. Thank you.
Well, heading to reception. Wait, probably Magpie.
Okay, good. I don't have to worry about it.
Great stuff.
So, you walk along and give me a perception check.
Okay, give me a sec. Gotta get out my dice and my random number generator. Let's see. 17 on the die and my perception. What the flip is it? 22 total.
Okay. What you notice is that the place is quiet. Not deserted, but you notice that everybody seems to just be on downtime. But you also notice that the posting boards are kind of starting to get a little overfull.
Hell,
Not something you can take care of, but you do kind of, but this does kind of make you scratch your head a little bit. Just because it's like, we've got a group full of adventurers here, what's going on?
well, this is a pickle. Excuse me, how come nobody's been taking care of all these little adventures?
Yeah, too many injuries.
Injuries?
A
What
few of them had turned out to be against some quite fearsome opponents.
Oh,
And
bloody
this is
hell.
just a guy that was walking by you, and he's on crutches at this point in time as he goes by.
Oh, dear. You're telling me the infirmary's full up, aren't you?
Yeah, not so much just this infirmary, but there are other infirmaries. We've lent this out to a local hospital, so we have the emergency room care here.
And let me guess, that's full too?
Not quite, but it's trying. Ugh, we should never have taken job from Dragon.
Oh, you poor thing. Anything I can do to help you?
Not unless you have miracle aids.
I have a healing spell.
Need more than that.
All right. Good luck. Hope you feel better.
So yeah, the guild is apparently having a little bit of a downtrend in how lucky they've been with their stuff. Oddly enough, the Bastard Smalls have been one of the only groups that have actually not suffered grievous injuries lately.
Either we're really lucky, really confident, or I don't know. Anyway, I was called to reception. What's going on?
Yeah, just a second here. Hang on. And you see Dolores basically go through all her folders.
Today, Dolores, new hairdo?
Not today. Pulls out it's basically like a leaflet-sized paper, and kind of thrusts it, just goes, yeah, no one wants to touch this one.
Seems to be our specialty, what others won't touch. Let me see
It's been
that.
hanging around here for the better part of a month, and we kind of need to get it off the books. And
I'm happy to help.
maybe you saw, but most of the competent people have already been hurt by whatever that dragon sends them on.
A dragon's a jerk, ain't he?
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Anyway, take this one, get the rest of your crew, and meet over in teleporter room 6Q.
Right. What color line is 6Q?
It's actually gray. Don't tell Okasan it's actually gray.
Seeing as everything's gray to him, I don't think that's gonna matter. I swear that bird has something running in his head and it ain't a hamster. Anyway, thank you, Dolores. Hopefully everyone feels better and hopefully somebody takes care of that dang dragon before I go up and slay him instead.
Good luck with that.
I imagine it's actually two dragons, one being a wind dragon and a blue dragon. It's supposed to be a territorial thing, but in the truth, they're just messing around.
And see, none of this is going to matter for the next session unless Raven wants it to. So, you know.
I think he wants it to. So I go look for my crew wherever they're milling about, and I gather them together. If Tiny pops up at this point, fine. Guys, we got a job, and it ain't that dragon one.
Aw, I wanted to meet the Durgan.
That dragon's been sending everyone to a freaking hospital bed. If we meet that Durgan is gonna be a head on the wall. But we got something else.
I bet it's a purple dragon named Tipo.
I have a funny feeling that'd be more pleasant than what we're dealing with. Anyway, I open the leaflet and start reading it.
Oh boy, something to stick in the bottom of my cage.
Let me read it first.
Okay, as you open the leaflet, it's not glossy or anything. It's just a folded over piece of paper. Like I said, it was leaflet sized. So as you stretch it out, basically you see it is a plea from the small sheep village, sheep ranching community of Welton.
Well, needs our help. Lots of sheep.
And apparently they have been suffering wolf attacks that have been making it impossible for them to get their flocks to market. So they need somebody to come deal with the wolves.
I think I saw this one shot on Reddit. I don't know all the details of it.
Well, seems like, apparently, wolves and sheep are the issue. This is a sheep town, and wolves are eating the sheep, so we gotta take care of it.
What? They
So-
don't have a sheepdog?
Maybe it got eaten.
That's honestly more tame than most of the missions I've been on.
It's at this point Tiny turns up and says, well, hello, friends. I got a...
Just like straightening up her hair and all that.
And you also note at the bottom the reward is 800 gold.
Not a bad reward for this, by the way.
Dolores recommended I help you guys out. It's apparently that Chiffross is a little indisposed at the moment.
Yeah, he's still
He
taking
down the
up
beer
from...
hole again?
No, he's still taking up from going down the beer hole, though, and I don't rightly blame him. Thanks,
True.
So
You
you
know,
didn't
they have 12-step programs for going down the beer hole.
Actually, the thing is, he's recovered, but he's just not allowed to go.
Oh my!
Chiffross, what did you do?
It's also possibly...
He's not allowed to talk to anybody at the moment.
Man, if any of us were going to get banned from being in a city, I would have thought it would have been Okasan.
The docs told me that. Tell me that Chiffross he's fine. He just has some issues to work through at the moment.
I mean, you could find somebody and ask if you actually want to know, or you could just go straight to the teleport room and get on with the mission.
Well, okay, the teleport room is, and like she gives the teleport room number. I'm gonna go ask Dolores what's up with Chiffross because I'm a little worried now, and I'll meet you there.
57 Alpha, got it.
No! But
What
she
would-
says the right number again and looks at like Yuki, Lo, and Tiny. Please remember. And then she like gathers them close, like so Okasan cannot hear. And she has her ears over Okasan's head anyway, just in case. It's a grey line, but don't tell Okasan.
You notice Tiny's just writing down
Right.
writing down his data. Oh, okay. Friend Okasan, it looks like you need a rest. Allow me to help you. And he picks him up and sticks it on his arm.
And
Ah.
everybody give me the intelligence roll for getting to the teleporter room.
Okay.
Taking out my dice.
17.
12.
Oof. 1
9?
second. Actually, wait. I'm going to go ask Dolores what's up with Chiffross first, and then I'll head to meet them at the teleport room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting their intelligence rolls for...
Oh, I didn't have to roll. Or
Oh, you will have to roll, but
not right now.
Tiny's
after you meet with Dolores.
Tiny's going to follow the party because he rolled a 7.
Fits right in. Okay, so I assume have you reached Dolores yet?
Yeah, obviously I know where she is.
Okay, give me a persuasion. I assume you're going to say, so what's up with Chiffross? Give me
Yeah.
a persuasion roll.
Let's see. How's my persuasion? 12.
Okay, that actually just barely beats her.
Oh shit! Nice.
I rolled 7, so yeah, might as well tell you. Yeah,
Nice.
it appears our guild doesn't look too kindly upon Faye as powerful as Baba Yaga having a direct connection to some of us. So, her being able to pull him straight into her hut, yeah, we can't let that happen once he's on guild ground. So we're trying to break the connection.
Oh, thank you. If you were okay with it, I would kiss you right now.
Don't push your luck.
That's why I said if you're okay with it. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not dumb. You probably kick my butt.
Okay,
Alright.
since you two split up, give me your intelligence roll for reaching the...
Let's see. Your intelligence. So let's see. 15.
Okay. So, everybody but Ladymage first walks to room Q6, teleports, and ends up at the foot of a volcano.
Oh wait, I'm the only one who found it.
And I didn't say that.
Crack.
Friends, I get the feeling this is not the right place.
And then you
Since
get a call. Wait a minute, are you going to Welton or Wharton?
I thought we were going to Wyerton.
We're going to the sheep dimension.
Well, okay, come back. Hang on, let me pull the switch.
Okay.
So he pulls the switch, pulls you back just like every other time. You go to your second stop, and this one, for some reason, you stop at R17.
It's not a volcano.
You pull the switch, and you're on a desert island with a funny little sailor dude and a tree with a never-ending supply of coconuts.
Damn it, I was going to make... As soon as you said island, I was going to make a Gilligan's Island joke. You bastard.
The dude looks at you and just, am I saved? Right as they go, nope, gotta pull you back.
Yuki grabs a coconut on the way out.
And as you pull back, Ty's going, yes, we can save you, but we left it behind.
No, he
And then
didn't.
one
And she
of
pulls
you-
out the coconut. I'm gonna draw a face on it and call it Wilson.
And then
There-
Yuki just finally goes, oh wait, that was Q6, not 6Q. And you all go to the right room, and now you're waiting for Ladymage.
What do I
Ladymage's
do?
character. You go to the exact same rooms they did. So now you've got a very you land to, near the volcano. You manage to make the other guy sad because you leave him behind twice in the span of about 10 minutes.
Can I say I tried to grab him both times?
Well, you only had one shot at grabbing him. The party was the one that left him behind the first time.
Oh, so I try to grab him before we teleport away.
He's nowhere near you, actually. He was on the other side of the island trying to get a fire lit when you showed up.
Oh.
But he saw you, started running towards you just as you disappeared out of view, so he's still stuck on his island.
I tell the teleporter guy, I'll be back! Second mission, I'm coming back for that guy.
Nope. What do you mean? It costs us money to use these. You guys have got to start getting to the right rooms.
If you consolidated, it'd be a little easier. And also, I am coming back, and you are teleporting me, or I'm shooting arrows in the eyeballs.
I'd like to see you try it.
Don't camp money.
What
Side
you
quest
fail
for
to
Magpie
notice
and
is
Arab
this
Nate
guy,
try to save the person.
this guy is wearing monk robes and actually looks like he's built like a brick outhouse.
Magpie's just annoyed she didn't get to save the guy. like she's just pissed.
So then to keep this kind of short, you end up in the upper ionosphere at one point.
Oh, screw you.
And then you finally remember, oh yes, I finally remember that it is the correct Q6. You finally managed to go there. And the only reason you went to all the same places is the gray line stops at all these same places.
At least you followed the right dang color.
Yes, the blue line.
Tom, you want to go back to that desert island when this mission is over and save that poor guy?
Yes, it was.
You remember what room that was?
Maggie probably wrote it down.
It was our something.
Okay, give me a survival check at disadvantage.
Oh dear.
To remember which room that was.
I did not remember. I'm not even going to say the number. I know I didn't remember because the first die roll was a 4.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough to remember it.
Even with her.
I got a 10.
Nope.
Let's see here. Survival with disadvantage, you said?
Yes.
Well, she's got to remember
13.
it's.
You're going to have to beat a 17 with this one.
Darn, I won't remember that it's room R17 later.
Yes.
It's an R room on the gray line, so.
All the R rooms are on the gray line, according to Okasan.
You know what I mean! The actual freaking gray line, the one that is actually gray, that Okasan said was blue!
And of course, as part of guild structure, the teleport crew do rotate, so you can't be looking for the same person to make it easier.
The rooms themselves probably rotate. This is like Unseen University.
Yes. That's part of the problem with actually having teleporter rooms is they teleport around every now and then.
Bloody.
Better be in the same spot.
Bloody wizard architectures.
It's like that one magic shop in Discworld.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It's like that.
established ages ago.
So anyway,
Get this mission over and done with.
you guys finally reach the right room, and the guy's kind of sitting there fiddling with essentially a puzzle cube of some sort just to pass the time. He kind of looks up at you and goes, "Who's teleporting to this remote hole in the ground?"
The bastard small tiny.
Who are the bastard smalls?
Please forgive the rest of my team. Anyway, yeah, we're taking the job. It's been on the book for months, and it does sound like they need a little bit of help. So...
You're going to Welton. You guys.
Yes.
Why?
Because
Never mind.
somebody
Not my
had
problem. Not my problem. Not my problem.
Friend, we have been issued this job. They have trouble. We must go assist.
Yeah,
Exactly,
okay,
thank you.
okay. So,
Look, we're the only adventurers not actually beaten to crap.
Well, typically
probably true.
until he's
Probably true.
shut himself into his workshop again. He's got knee deep into a project, and Snorri's flat out drunk. The only reason he's going.
Badly injured.
The only way he's going anywhere is because his golem is pushing him.
I got a lot of nice papers from the Snark's room. They are lining the bottom of my cage, they are.
Snark's gonna kill you in a minute. Let's get out of here.
Tiny looks
If you
horrible.
need some extra papers, that freaking wizard friend of yours has left like 20 or so of his posters in that exact same spot on the wall over there.
I look at the wall and there's just like
There's just
three.
literally, it's a stack of have you seen this box posters all pushed into the same spot by a very large pin.
I will give.
Take the pin, take the papers.
I will give friend Tetlin this. He is determined.
Want to beat up his master for this stupid quest. The poor guy. It's driving him crazy.
Okay, so there are a couple of complications with teleporting to this place. You'll have to do some walking once we get you there.
Fair enough.
Because the teleporter scared the sheep. So every
Oops.
time we did, a few of them would actually keel over dead out of shock. So we had to put this teleporter about 1,000 yards away from the town. So you're gonna have to walk. We got a clearly marked trail that takes you to the town. Don't worry about getting lost.
Good to know.
Please don't go diving in the forest, though. There's some things in there you probably don't want to see.
Like.
It's no longer a big problem there, but they used to have some fae that ran through there. I don't know all the details, but just some fae creatures ran through there and caused havoc until this town got established. Then the fae mostly went away, but every now and then one or two of them will still pop up to cause trouble.
Hey, what kind of fae? Do you know what kind of fae we're gonna have to keep an eye out for?
I don't know. They didn't give me all the details. They just posted me here and told me to give you guys a warning that fae might be there. If anyone
Well,
actually
good
wanted to
luck.
go to this little backwater place.
Tiny's got to step in
Well,
into
I'm
little
a
and
hunter, so I'm the right girl for the job.
Magpie, friend Magpie. The Fae are not the matter. Our matter is the sheep. The sheep are the livelihood of these people. If they lose
What if the sheep are the Fae?
I highly doubt that, Okasan. At least I hope not. Otherwise, that is really weird.
the sheep are the Fae. How does that work?
I don't
Maybe
know
it's
how
the
that would
gnomes
work.
from earlier. Maybe they're dressing up as sheep.
You know, that's actually a possibility, Yuki, and I hate that. Sorry, Donnie, I get a little fired up when it comes to fight.
Tiny has heard every argument going on, and he believes every one of you.
Okay, guys, are you getting on this thing or not?
Yes, the sheep aren't going to save themselves.
All right, everyone
What was
on.
there shit to say? Yep.
And he pulls the big switch down. You go through the Doctor Who sequence and end up in basically what looks like a forest cul-de-sac.
That's a nice
With one
place.
path, with like one little path about 20 feet wide, cleared through the trees. The forest is exceptionally dense.
Much
you can
like
pick your way-
Okasan.
You can pick your way through it,
No.
but it will take you some effort to, not so much not get lost because you can mark trees and such, but to actually, you cannot sprint through this forest. It is really, really freaking dense.
That'd be perfect for like Magpie to hide in, as opposed to like somebody
And
like.
everybody, I want you to roll a perception check from here.
Okay, perception.
Okay.
Ugh, I'm cocked.
Let's see. 18 plus 5 is
22.
23, I think.
20.
13.
23.
So pretty much everybody And if you didn't see this, it would probably be pointed out to you really quickly. You can see that there are runes inscribed along the very edge of where the forest stops.
Can I read them?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Because it sounds like it's a Fey-related thing, so of course Magpie's going to be the one interested in them. So let's see. Arcana, 13.
Okay, it's not enough to make out their exact intent, but you can tell they were made by men.
Okay. So I don't know if they're
can't
Fey.
quite tell their exact intent. You can just tell that they were made by men, and that's it.
Yeah, what? I'm not sure what these are, but they ain't Fey, so I think we're safe.
And with the perception checks, you can kind of see that the runes continue on down the path to both sides.
I'm tempted to make Okasan do an Arcana check, except I have absolutely no reason to.
You can go ahead and make one. I mean, that
other-
won't stop you from making one.
Other than it would be really funny.
You know how to make him do it. So what are you
That's
like? What are
small.
these
Go
riddles?
for it.
I roll. That's a 19.
Well,
Wow.
Okasan is
Okay.
suddenly a wizard.
Okay, so just by
Sudden death.
sheer luck, you notice that this rune matches the one at the top of the stack at the bottom of your cage on a sheet of paper that said forestation line marker.
These aren't
So-
magic, they're just forest markers.
No, these are magic that will not allow trees to grow past that point.
Oh.
They're just
Okay.
basically a dividing line. They wrote out a magic line to keep the path there.
I can't believe Okasan was secretly a wizard this whole time.
Is Okasan going to share this?
Hidden depths,
These-
man.
Wait,
These-
maybe that explains why he's so dang crazy. He's gone mad because he has so much magic knowledge that he can't
Okasan is
anymore.
Rincewind. Oh god, Okasan
I
is
can't
Rincewind.
believe
No.
I can't believe we figured out Okosan's backstory. Bastard Smalls is cancelled.
We figured out why he's crazy. We just don't know what happened.
You may have to write this backstory at some point.
Also,
Please do.
you notice that the forest is very much like you would expect a forest. There are a lot of birds chirping. There are a lot of, insects. There's just a lot of life going on in this part of the forest. With those perception checks, you notice that this forest, other than having a man-made demarcation line for it, is a perfectly normal but just overly thick forest.
So this place has good soil, I can say that much.
It's really nice here.
It reminds me of home.
Let's see. Oh, you grew up in a forest? I did too. Pixie Ward.
It was near a forest. We spent weeks picking out the knolls.
Okay, anyway. So you can stay in this cul-de-sac as long as you want to, and I can guarantee you not much is going to happen other than you might get curious. You might get curious fauna looking at you from beyond the tree line.
Perhaps the sheep will come to us. No.
Get going. That town ain't gonna wait much longer, I'm sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
friends. Let's progress with the job.
So,
Onward to adventure.
whee!
so you
That's the
start
spirit,
taking the
old
path
son.
down, and you notice it's pretty much the same almost the entire way through the path. You hear the birds, you hear a few deer frolicking back there. At least you think they're deer. You can't really be sure. Kind of hard to see anyway. And just as you break out into where the forest would naturally end, it kind of widens out into a few hundred feet across, open, mostly flat, with a few hills scattered around grass plain. And off in the distance, about 150 feet away from you, you see a couple of shepherds, a handful of sheepdogs, and a flock of about 40 sheep.
Well, they do have sheepdogs, but I guess it's not enough. Hello?
And that's 150 feet. They don't hear you.
Guess we gotta get closer.
Unless you really want to screaming, but then it's probably the right thing to get closer.
I don't want to scare the poor sheep.
So you start to you've been walking this whole time, so you're about 150 feet away from them. And give me a perception check, everybody.
Okay.
It was almost an at 20.
18.
9.
11.
24.
Okay.
6.
Enough of you passed the mark. What you see is their dogs hit a very aggressive pose out of nowhere, and the men freeze, grab their clubs, and start looking around. You also notice that the forest in that area has gone dead freaking quiet.
Guys, I think the wolves are coming.
Okasan needs to use the restroom.
But friend
Okay,
Okasan,
what?
there is no
Before you can
restroom.
actually leave anywhere, you hear a howl from 3 places on completely different areas.
Magpie has her bow and arrow. Bow and arrow ready to go.
So, like I said, you're about 150 feet away from the sheep. There's an extra 50 feet from the sheep to where you're hearing the howls.
Magpie has her bow out and ready to go. Guys, Okasan, use the restroom quickly. I would think she kind of gets a connection, but she doesn't know, because she knows if Okasan goes to the bathroom, outputting Diablo is going to come out.
So anyway, I take it you guys are starting to advance now?
Tiny has started to leg it towards where he thinks the hound is coming from, drawing his throwing axes.
Okay.
Is running carefully, and she's behind Tiny, but not as quickly, because again, she's a distance fighter. And she's motioning the others to follow her. So, she's basically doing a hunting pose, like she's hunting for prey or something.
What are the rest of you doing?
Oh, okay. Aramnaze, I forgot my own character's name. They have a staff, obviously, and they're holding it with both hands, visibly nervous, and that's eyes kind of darting in certain places until it just they're looking back down at their hands. That's pretty much it.
Yuki just stands up on all twos and grabs her dagger and has that close by as she's walking.
Okay, you make it about 10 feet. And the howl stops, and what you see, you didn't think wolves would do, but you basically see wolves, and everybody give me a perception check when you look at this, because I need to know how to describe it.
Okay.
You only perception checks.
Wow.
18. I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
I got a 17.
I got a 17 also.
What you notice is that about 8 wolves have popped out in front of the shepherds and appear to be distracting them, while another 6 wolves comes in from behind and darts at the sheep.
Oh, great. They know tactics.
It's not normal.
No, it's not.
So the wolves that are playing the distraction they're not, what you can tell, they're not really aiming to get into a stand-up fight. They're kind of darting in, taking a snap at the heels of the shepherds, or managing to just ram into the sheepdogs to knock them prone, and then popping back to where they came from.
See why this has been a problem.
While the other 6 wolves are just making full speed towards the back of the sheep, where they managed to draw off the one sheepdog that was near there to protect the masters.
What's our range up between us and the secondary group of wolves going after the sheep?
You are about 190 feet away from the distraction wolves, and the wolves going after the sheep, you were about 140 feet.
I can shoot that far with my bow and arrow without disadvantage.
Tiny's throwing throwing axe into his left hand, and he pulls out his javelin and he's running full speed ahead.
Okay. So
Magpie is following him. Just to
so
make
if he's
sure.
throwing one, you're going to have a very hard time to hit with a throwing axe at this range.
Yeah, that's why he's drawing his javelin.
Okay.
Damn, that spell's not in range. Okay.
The bow and arrow. How far is that? I think bow and arrow is like 200 feet.
It's, I believe 8120.
Okay, so yeah, she's a little too far. So she's moving in a little closer, but not too close.
Yeah. The wolves darting for the sheep have about 50 feet to go till they reach them.
Okay, so we're heading as close as possible. Thanks. Me trying to.
I have
Longbow, 150 to 600
Okay,
feet.
you have a longbow. I thought you had a short bow. Yeah, longbow.
No, she's longbow.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, she's aiming and she's ready to go. She will shoot one of the wolves easily.
Okay. Give me your attack roll.
First, she casts Hunter's Mark on it. And attack 17 plus her proficiency in the bow and arrow, which would be 15 on the die, plus her dex, which would be +4, plus her proficiency bonus, which is +2. And I think she also gets the archery of +1, so over 20.
Okay, so that hits. Roll up damage.
That's 1d8, right? To find the right RNG, that's d8. And I also cast Hunter's Mark, so that gives me an extra d6. So that's 3 plus 6. 7 damage.
Okay, from this range, your arrow flies true. It clips the thing in the shoulder. As fast as it was running, it was very unbalanced. So when you clip this thing in the shoulder, it knocks it sideways, and it basically does a barrel roll. And you hear, of course, you hear the very loud yip as you strike, which causes the other wolves that were in the vicinity to break out at full speed.
Hang on, I need to find theme music for this.
And technically, Magpie can take another shot because of the Gloomstalker thing, where she has a second attack on her first turn, if that counts for this situation.
Oh yeah, as long as your extra attack does trigger when you make a ranged attack, then yes, you can make a second attack.
It's literally just a second attack.
Are you going to try to hit the same wolf?
Is it prone?
Yeah, it was knocked prone.
Okay, so I'll aim for a different wolf, so I won't get the Hunter's Mark bonus. Okay, 13 on the die, plus the proficiency, plus the archery, plus the dex. So 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20.
Okay, that also hits. Roll damage.
So that's just the basic d8.
Mm-hmm.
1 damage.
So that doesn't actually do much to the wolf, except it does graze through the top of its neck a little bit.
So it hurts it. So it's like
It hurts it just a little bit. But then what you hear the other wolves that were undamaged howl twice very quickly, and they break into a full sprint. Up till now, they'd been just kind of running normal speed to try to avoid detection by the shepherds. But now they've gone, oh crap, we've got people on us, so we better hurry.
He's at the fuzz.
Basically.
Oh, Tiny's I guess up next because he has a javelin.
Javelin has a range of 120. Don't have the range.
So you would roll with disadvantage if you attacked from here. Because you're still about 140 feet away.
Oh, let's go for the disadvantage.
Okay.
Of course, his first auto attack roll. Critical failure.
You rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh dear.
basically, I'm not going to, ruin anything for you. Basically, you pull this thing out, and and instead of letting go when you should, you hang on to it and spike the end into the ground.
Whoops.
I thought you were going to have him yeet Okasan on accident.
No.
It may happen yet.
We know when Yoko-san gets yeeted, it will be on purpose.
Mhm.
Okay, so is anybody else going to try to do anything at this range?
I don't think anyone else can do anything in this range.
Okasan definitely can.
You can attempt to yell again and get the shepherd's attention towards what's going on.
Magpie screams as loud as she can. There are wolves coming from the other side. The ones you're fighting are a distraction.
Hey everyone, there's pudding over here.
That might work too.
Okay, that time, since you yelled as loud as you can, I gave them advantage on the roll, and they actually heard it. And they both turn and look and see the wolves are just about on their sheep at this point. The wolves are literally like, 10, 15 feet away. The one that wasn't tumbled to the ground. So you see the shepherds hurriedly try to get their dogs to charge at the wolves. And then now you're 30 feet closer. So you're at the range of about 110 feet. The wolves have reached the sheep, and let's see. Gonna roll. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of the 5 that were I can consider uninjured, one a graze wound isn't really going to do much. Out of the 5, 4 of them actually managed to get a sheep, just completely evading the sheepdogs, and have started to break towards the other side of the clearing, back towards the forest. The sheepdogs are in full chase after them, and the shepherds are still trying to fight off the distraction wolves.
They're still a danger.
Do you do anything?
I try to fire again at the wolf I grazed.
Okay. This is one that actually does have a sheep. And you notice they aren't killing the sheep. I'm going to give you your earlier perception rolls for this. You notice they aren't killing the sheep. They're picking it up by the scruff of the neck and running with it.
hell? That's weird. So, okay. I got an 18 on the die plus the one in archery, the +2. God, like, this is the one problem with Rangers. There's so many numbers. Plus the +4. So 7 plus 18, 26. I obviously hit the stupid thing.
Okay, yes, you hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh.
You said 2?
Yes.
Well, this one actually goes through part of the wolf, not enough to really knock it off its stride. You hear it yelp and then kind of stumble a little bit to reassert the grasp it has on its sheep that's kicking furiously. But yeah, it manages to regain its balance and keep going at a full dash towards the other side of the forest. Is anybody else going to do anything from here?
Danny will have abandoned his javelin because it's stuck on the ground and take too much time to yank it out, and so he's going to continue running, dashing after the wolves, passing the thrown axe to his main hand.
Okay.
And since he's dashing, he can't do anything else, so that'll be me action.
Oh,
Okay, is anybody
Okasan.
else? There we go.
Okasan has short legs. He's going to run towards the shepherds with the distraction wolves. It's going to take a little while because, again, tiny short person legs.
I mean, can he use his wings to kind of give him a boost?
I can double jump, but that doesn't actually help me for my running speed.
Ah,
Yeah, this isn't Mario. We can't use it to make things faster.
No.
damn it.
If nothing
We don't
else,
have a B button.
I'll put Diablo needs to go kick to get him sending flying first.
I haven't had a chance to change into my alternate identity,
Oh.
and I'm not going to do that while there are people watching.
Oh yeah, still Okasan. We don't have the combat competent one.
Hmm.
I assume everybody else is just kind of running in that general direction.
I'm also Yuki is also working to pull out her gray bag of tricks.
Is
Okay.
About to pull out one of the items.
Oh no.
is anyone hurt? Yes.
No.
People
Doesn't seem like-
no. We've had one wolf that took pretty severe damage, but that was about it.
Okay. Aramnaze is just gonna like. They're like. They don't really. They're not good in a fight, so they're trying to like see if anyone needs healing.
The Marinades is on support, basically.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I need to bring up this thing if I can find it again.
Magpie is debating using her griffin statue Muffin at this point. Like, she has her hand on it and she may bring it out.
Okay.
In fact, she's going to do this. Like, Muffin, we might need your help. Those sheepdogs ain't enough. Get them!
Okay, now I need to roll some perception checks.
Muffin, I choose you.
Great, Muffin's a Pokemon now. They do need a Griffin Pokemon.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys get closer, you hear more howling coming from where the wolves originally popped out of. And then you see the distraction wolves make a break for it. They're headed right back to the forest where they came from, which leaves the shepherds free to turn. They don't have any distance weapons. All they have is clubs, but they but they realistically have no chance of actually catching up to the wolves on foot. The sheepdogs, on the other hand... No. No. One of the sheepdogs manages to catch one of the wolves with a sheep in it and lunges at it. Knocking the wolf prone and spilling the sheep onto the ground, basically. With the wolf... Yeah, that'd do it. The wolf basically does the little twisty thing a dog on its back does, and clips the sheepdog in the face, basically, and gets up and just starts running at full speed and abandoning the sheep. And the sheepdog won't move. The sheepdog just kind of takes a protective stance over the sheep. But the other 3 wolves with sheep are still making a break for the forest. And they're actually getting kind of close now.
Stick a muffin on the wolf I've been attacking.
Okay, your muffin has to cover about 100 feet to get there.
It's going to fly. That's 80 feet, so it'll have 20 feet to go.
It won't make it in time. I will tell you now that the wolves are about 1 turn away from hitting the edge of the forest.
Okay, never mind then. I'll have Muffin, stand near the rest of the sheep. To act as an extra guard in case, they decide to come back or something.
Okay.
Dang it, they got away!
You see the shepherds basically start to look over their flock. They do the count. And after they count that they are 3 sheep short, they kind of breathe a sigh of relief.
I just remembered a punchline to a joke.
Excuse me, how come you're breathing a sigh of relief? We just lost 3 of your sheep, sir.
Yeah, but do you have any idea how many sheep we usually lose taking this route? Thanks, we needed that help.
Happy to help. Name's Magpie, Fey Hunter Gloomstalker, and my associates, Okasan, Tiny, Aramias, and Yuki.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
Thanks, guys.
Trying to get away.
You guys don't look like you're from around here.
We're from the
You
guild.
guys-
You sent a job a month ago, and unfortunately things got kind of hectic to the point where most of the guild is injured. But we just remembered the job, and we apologize for our late response. And we're here to help. And we're some of the best in the business.
People at the guild lose paperwork all the time. It's really a disgrace when you stop to think about it.
There's so many jobs, we can't help it.
Well,
But-
in any event, we are really glad you guys came along. The wolves are... I don't know if they've got someone pulling the strings, or if it's magic, or if the devil's at work here, but the wolves have gotten smarter than we have.
They aren't killing the sheep. They were carrying them like cats carry kittens.
Yeah, we never see blood after they attack. We always see just sheep sheep disappeared completely. For a while there, we thought the wolves were eating them whole.
God dang, that's actually kind of a creepy thought. Anything else?
Oh.
Like, well, we got a little bit of a walk back to town. You know, kind of follow us, and we can keep an eye out for more wolves, because it's not completely uncommon for them to make a second try it if they don't get very many wolves on the first pass.
Happy to help. Shame we couldn't get more of the sheep back.
While this is going on, Teddy's gone back to recover his javelin.
We've always had some wolves around here, and they've always picked off a stray sheep or two, but man, this is just lately it's gotten bad. Normally on a flock like this, we'd lose half to 2/3 of them from one attack.
That's actually concerning, and not to mention that this is not like wolves are good tacticians naturally. They are pack animals. I know this, but this is not normal. Like this is past normal pack behavior.
I
And
mean,
the
if you think this is weird, you think this is weird. One of ours named Grimstone, kinda up near Carnby Way. You'll see it when you get there. He had his flock out in the middle of the field, and he heard someone calling from the trees asking for help. Well, he runs off to check, but didn't find anything out there, much less anything capable of speech. And when he came back, his entire flock was just gone.
magpie's getting alarm bells in her head. She's getting alarm bells.
Can I make a test to determine if I know anything that could do this?
Same.
Since I've probably come back by this time.
Actually, this I don't think you would.
What about Magpie?
No, I don't think so.
Fair enough.
That is really, really strange.
I mean, you can make the roll and I can give you ideas, but this is not something you would have run across before.
I'm making the roll. Tiny seems some weird stuff. Doesn't say he understands it, just seeing it.
I'm rolling too. This sounds like Fae work to her. Intelligence?
Arcana.
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 Okay, Arcana. 14.
What status Arcana?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Oh. 15.
No, this is nothing like you've ever run across before.
This is weird. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Perhaps the heaven frogs are at work again.
These sound like null tactics, but these aren't nulls.
No, they're not. They're not even hyenas.
Heaven frogs?
Remember that whole Forest Lord thing and the exploding frogs and the argument? Because Magpie did tell Tiny about that.
Oh, yes, that was...
The heaven frogs have many mysterious powers.
I think Okasan just made it worse, and I'm kind of glad Tedlin caught the flu or something.
But yeah, we had another guy named Wheatley. He's not even a shepherd. He just has a little traveling salesman cart type thing. He sells like pots, pans, cookware, ointments, basic stuff. He basically just sells sundries. He was walking his cart back to town, and he said it felt like magic to him, but he doesn't know magic, so no telling what it really was. But just a bunch of wolves just jumped out and scared him off. And when he came back, he went to town, got some help, and when he came back to his cart, none of the food was gone. None of the stuff you would expect wolves to care about were gone, but just the leather. He had sacks of leather in there that they took.
Well, maybe the wolves would want to chew on it. I mean, that's a little less weird than I was expecting, but yeah, why didn't they take the food? I would think the wolves would try to, eat at least the sausages in there too.
Where do you get your sheep from?
We breed our sheep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Okasan, they breed the sheep. They have the sheep get married and have babies.
I'm gonna roll insight.
I'm just looking at this bird like, Okasan, we need to talk again.
Are we about to have a conversation about sheep having sex?
Full disclosure, I just rolled a private thing for myself on how badly I want a metagame.
Oh no.
Okasan trusts absolutely everything this guy says ever. Because I just rolled a 1.
Wow.
That is a character.
You
I
know,
guess. I mean, and I guess we got the first time this actually happened. Yeah, back when up on Spurrick's Hill, we had a family named the Peterson had like a dozen sheep just kind of disappeared out of a locked barn.
Was
Of
the
course, they
lock?
blamed the boy for not locking the barn properly, and well, you know how farming families are. But like the next week, after the old man himself had locked the thing up tight, another dozen sheep got stolen out of there.
So the lock wasn't destroyed, but was the door open? Like somebody unlocked and opened the door.
Yeah, somehow the lock just got popped open.
What kind of lock is it? Is it like a sliding lock or is it like a key?
Massive padlock.
So a key. Wolves, you pick the dang lock? Okay, this is getting a little too weird even
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
kind of
What
one of
the
those.
heck?
Basically, had the big door that closes in front of the barn. Then a chain runs through it and locks and then secures it. Then the padlock holds the chain in place. Yeah, they found the padlock and the chain just kind of crumpled up in front of the barn with the door with the everything intact, but the lock was popped open.
Friend, you said first two times a dozen sheep were taken each time.
Yeah,
When the wolves attack, is the maximum amount of sheep they take a dozen?
only when they raid the town to do it.
Yeah, remember they mentioned that a flock that size in the forest.
Yeah, you
the,
get caught
when
out
we're
in the
walking,
wild. You get caught out in the wild, or like the one guy that went to look for help in the forest. You lose your entire flock.
My dice are trying to kill me. Perhaps the wolves are performing a specific magical ritual using a specific number of sheep.
you know,
Before this all started, I would have laughed at that, but these days,
same.
who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Okasan. As weird as it sounds, and noting that it's you, that still sounds about as plausible as anything else right now. This could be anything.
I just rolled.
This is
Tiny believes Okasan's story as well.
not even
So
so much. I
anyway-
believe Okasan's story as this is so weird. Any theory could be true. We just don't know what yet.
So anyway, yeah, about a little over a month ago. Matter of fact, this kind of prompted us to send word to help to you guys. We had a bunch of our big guys went out to go hunt down the wolves and tromp through the forest and look for them, track them back to their den. But as soon as they crossed, about halfway into the forest and hit the dark part, they got ambushed. I mean, I wasn't there myself, but a couple of those guys talked about thunder and fire being launched out at them. Whew, unholy mess if I've ever heard one. Anyway,
Thunder and fire.
one of
How long
them's
is
one of them's a guy named Featherrock. He got busted up real bad in that fight. They kind of thought he was dead at first, so they kind of left him behind. But the next morning, they found him found him breathing really shallowly out in the clinic's doorstep.
Can we speak to this Featherrock?
Yeah, you can speak to him, but I don't know if you'll get any sense out of him. He's kind of been touched in the head a little bit since that happened.
If it's anything like Okasan, I think we can translate.
Tony wasn't thinking. Tony wasn't.
Finally here.
Tony wasn't thinking it. His player was.
Question: how long has this been going on? If like the actual your own personal attempt was about a month ago.
Oh, it's been going on for about 2.5 to 3 months now since the first of it started.
So for 3 months, did anything happen before those 3 months that you would count as found something weird, or someone or something came in that's a little off? Anything like that?
Well, kinda.
Well,
See,
might as well
we
tell
used-
us.
See, we used to have a town sorcerer.
And there it is.
We used to have a town sorcerer, but right before all this started happening, he disappeared.
disappeared. Do you know why?
Not a clue. He went for a walk. He said he was going for a walk and he never came back.
Was he liked, disliked? Was he just an outsider? How was he treated in the town?
Hey, he's a town sorcerer, so he was taken care of real good because he's the one that kind of kept things like this, happening at bay.
So, what was his name?
God dang it.
Screw you, Raven.
Yes, I'm putting things into the group chat.
His name was Alexi Merrickson.
Okay, I'm writing that down. Probably not spelled right, but I'll remember phonetically. All right. Well, that's something we'll need to ask about.
Who
was the other? Who was the other person?
Which one? Feather Rock?
No. I'm talking. Finish what you were gonna say first.
Yeah, that's Father Merrickson's brother. Father Merrickson. Father Merrickson's a little less agreeable to deal with for most people. He's kind of our local priest.
Might have to talk to him too if they were brothers. And who was the second person that went into the forest with Featherrock?
Yeah, just a random assortment of the big people. I don't remember who all was there. There's about a dozen of them. Featherrock's the only one that got busted up bad, though.
And I'm guessing there's like a town tavern or something they all have to hang out with each other.
The inn, and that's kind of where they're keeping Featherrock right now. It's kind of the biggest building in the place. Can't miss it. I mean, there ain't much else in this town you're going to want to look at anyway.
How about this merchant you brought up? Is he still around?
The merchant? Yeah, I think he might be in town, but there's a good chance he might just have split.
Good thinking, Tiny. He might know something too.
Is an option to pursue if he's still around?
I think it depends on when he left, because he probably booked it.
It does sound like a sensible option.
I'm pretty sure he's not actually in the town right now. Yeah, he's not actually in the town right now. I will tell you this, he left shortly after that happened and hasn't been back since.
We'll just assume the shepherd. So I was like, okay, so he ain't coming back, so we can't talk to him. So I think our main plan should be to talk to the priest, find the wizard house, and talk to the big guys in the inn, including Featherrock, to see if we can make sense of anything. Sound like a plan, folks?
It most indeed sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
Okay, I think we might want to consider this a good breaking point, because that is the
usual setup. Okay. This is part 1 of session 7 of the Battered Smalls. So until next time, be good, be well, and keep an eye on your sheep. Later.
Bye bye, black sheep, have you any wool?